And I've guested on Sir Cliff's tour and indeed made a DVD with him, and I enjoyed that immensely. It was great. I remember when I went, because I'm a big fan of Cliff's anyway, and he was on the Albert Hall, and he said, "Do you fancy coming up?" Because he'd done a duet with me on Imagine, and he did the most amazing vocals on it. He really made... I've never heard Imagine since John Lennon, of course, who could top John Lennon, but I've never heard anybody sing Imagine, the two of us together. It was so unique. And I said, "Oh, I'll think about it." I said, "Look, can I come down in the interval and tell you yay or nay?" And he was great. He said, "Yeah, fine." I turned up for rehearsals. We did the rehearsal, and I loved it. I said, "Look, can I not come out dry? Can I sort of like do my own thing for a little bit and then do the duet? Because I'm a bit rusty, that's all." He said, "Yeah, what do you want to do?" And I went really right back to my roots, and I thought, I'll do Peggy Lee's Fever, because that was my audition number I did in the Cavern with Jerry and the Pacemakers for Brian Epstein. And I thought, I'll do that. I can play around with that. And it's easy. So I followed him sing. Oh, I went first start. I was going down the interval. I was terrified. I was nervous. And I said, "I'm going down to tell him I can't do this. I cannot do this." And I went down, then all of a sudden this calm came over me. And I knew what was really making me nervous. I wasn't used to sitting in a theatre before I was going on. I had to be backstage. And all of a sudden they gave me my own dressing room, and I thought, wow, I'm back home. This is where I belong. I'm at home. I'm backstage. And I said, "What do I follow? Get me on there. What do I follow?" And he said, "I'm going to do Devil Woman." I said, "Okay." So there I was in my own dressing room. I'm in a glass of champagne. And I heard him do Devil Woman, so I went to stand by. And his introduction to me, more or less, it was more than this, but the latter part was, well, from one devil woman to another, here she is, Cilla Black. And I walked on, and I just stood there, and the whole audience stood up, and I thought, wow, this, and I couldn't wait to get to the microphone. But the old talent in me stood back, and he's looking at me because he's got his back to the audience. Come on. And I thought, no, I'm going to savour this moment forever. Anyway, I walked down, he left the stage, and, well, I nearly cost him £5,000 in overtime that night because I was on there 20 minutes. It took 20 minutes. I had a captivated audience, and I was chatting and talking to the audience and then singing. And he actually went in when he'd had a cup of tea, dried off a little bit, and said, "How's she doing?" And his PA said, "She hasn't even started the song yet." But I nearly cost him, my claim to fame is I nearly cost him £5,000 in overtime. But it was the best. It was the best feeling ever. And that's what I know I'm most comfortable at, in the theatre, on stage, with a live audience, a paying audience, no less.
I think for anybody who's done public speaking or stood in the wings of a theatre ready to go on, that feeling that you get knowing that they're waiting for you, like dogs growling at you, waiting to see whether you can do what they think you can do. Your fans would love to see you do Cilla the concert. Could you not do that for them?
Oh, you're making me feel guilty now, aren't you? I've been asked. I probably will. There are times when I think I wish I was more like Shirley Bassey, which is, it's her life. I have to stress again, it's show business. I remember my husband saying, you don't work for the business, you make the business work for you. And you've got to remember, I'm very much a family person, and I do have two beautiful grandchildren who I want to spend every hour that God sends me to be with Max and Lana. I'm in a different era now, and I would do that charity concert, but it means me having to work. I mean, I'd have to have. I mean, I don't even sing in the shower now. Never mind, you know. I'd never play my own records. I never ever do that. I'd be embarrassed. I mean, I did an advert for LV, and every time it comes on, an insurance advert, I have to switch over. I can't bear to watch myself on television or even listen to myself. But I love entertaining the public. I love that.